Oh my God, how y'all doing? Man, it's about to go down here on the journey. We just gotta cue up the music. But I just wanted to give y'all time, some of y'all to get time to get up in here so that we can go on and do our thing. It's going to be in session in a second, family. I'm pleased to be your servant. I'm pleased that a lot of you are taking time to really tune in to what we're doing, and I'm appreciating it. Our numbers are growing. Our family is growing. Our toasting family is growing, and everything is moving according to divine order. So we are about to get the show started. You know, it's time. It is time for us to get it started. Oh, my fault. I need my speakers. Let me hook up my speakers. You know, because y'all know, those that checked me out earlier, y'all know that I was out with the elders this morning. We did the toast, and it was pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? Let me scoot this over just a little bit because it got a lot of light on there. I didn't expect that much light, but I got what I cleaned the camera up a little bit, changed the case, and I'm surprised what I got. So, family, I need to let you know you are now rocking with the best. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is Heart of a Simple Production. And, of course, you know this is Tribal Quotes. And we are on day 32, which means that for at least 32 weeks, we have been going through this book. And this is the second time that I'm going through this book, family. We kicking it. Of course, you know we strive to blow up your old paradigms. So get on board. Wake up. Let's get it. Oh, lines are open. Lines are open. Hoping you call in. Come on. Send a call out to all my kin, all my friends. Let's get on here and blend. Knowledge, understanding. Come on, family. Call your family and friends. I'm trying to tell you, quotes coming from straight from Gye-Nyame Journey Workbook, Tribal Quotes, available online. I don't know how this popped up, but it popped up and it's me. Old me. Oh, we about to kick it, family. Here we go. Call in lines open. Wow. Check 1, check 2. You said what? We in the place, family. All right, family, I want to welcome you to Tribal Quotes, and we are on day 32. We are going to kick it. Shouts out to Miss Cynthia Jackson. Thank you for joining us. I want to read a piece from my poetry book. It's called Poetry is My Religion, compilation of poems that I've done over the years. And this one is called What If We Forgot? And if I read it already to y'all, I apologize. You know, I just like going through some of my old stuff sometime, dusting it off, blowing off the dust. You know what I'm saying? What if we forgot that we are makers and creators of the world?
This call is being recorded.
And this was nothing but our fantasies, our imagination's world. And since we forgot within it, we became trapped and forgot the magic words that would free us and bring us back. What if we forgot that we were Jesus on the cross? In our illusions and confusions of pain, we got lost. And that dreams of torment that blew in our mind and dripped outside of us and plagued mankind. What if we forgot, and each time we came back, we designed different misery to remind us of who we are, to help put us back on track. But each misery we created to remind us of who we were turned our present life into terror, leaving us in a blur. What if we forgot that life was a game we were playing with ourselves, and since we lost the rules of the game and started believing it was real, our existence transformed into a hell? What if we forgot that we're in a galactic play and lost track of our lines and ad-libbed our way, taking our performance too far outside the script, transforming heroes into villains and happy endings into crypts? What if we forgot? What if we forgot? Then if we forgot, I want to remember. I want to mutate my losses into winners. I want to bring the sun out on my cloudy days. I want to be confident that there is an answer when I pray. I don't care what others say. I'm not asking for a lot, but I simply want to remember what it is we forgot. All right, so family, here we go. Lady J has joined us. Miss Sharika Brantley is waving at us from Florida. What's up, fam? How are you doing tonight? I don't know who else is on the line, but we're going to have us a nice little powerful conversation. Lady J is on her way to Simpsonland. And, and if she want to talk about that, she can, because they still in the midst of fundraising. Y'all can still send money in. And, hell, y'all can still send it in while they up at camp. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to, they got to start fundraising for next year now. So, Lady J, how are you doing tonight? Uh-oh. I see the sound bar jumping off, but I don't hear no sound, Lady J. His noise is coming through your thing, but I don't. Let me make sure everything is cool on my end. Let's play the test sound. Let's see. Well, it's working on my end. So, Lady J, you might need to hang up and call back. Better yet, let me help you. I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up on you. So call back in. All right, so let's go and let's read the Proverbs of tonight so that I could go on and, because I got to do some internet searching and some stuff that I need. But there was an interesting article that I did find that I wanted to share with y'all. I'm going to look up attention span. Attention span. Attention span and Maya kids. All right. So, I'm riding in the car and I'm listening to NPR as usual because I can't really rock with some of the music. I'm old. I can't keep up with some of the shit that they saying. I mean, I know I cuss a lot, and I'm like, damn. All right. So, there was a story on NPR about the attention span. It started off them talking about attention span. I want to share this story with you because I want y'all to listen to the twist in the story. All right? Please listen to the twist in the story. Shouts out to brother Daryl Cobb. He's also fundraising for Simba, so anybody want to send money, y'all can post up the links. I'm waiting for Lady J to call back in. A lost secret, listen, a lost secret, how to get kids to pay attention. Let me say that again. A lost secret, how to get kids to pay attention. Once again, a lost secret, how to get kids to pay attention. Now, once again, the phone lines are open. I pinned it up, but it's 614-556-4535. I'm going to type that up for those of you that are on speaker. Call in lines. Call in line. Don't be shy because I got enough room on the line for over 100 people. And we don't never get over 100 people, so I'm not concerned about that, right? I'm concerned about getting the right people. I'm concerned about getting quality people for the discussion. I'm interested in getting people who have skin in the game up. So I should play it, but I don't want to get a copyright infringement from NPR. All right, but I want to read through this because I think for those of you that's out here working with young people, I think you might need to hear this. This is off of NPR. It's called Lost Secrets, How to Get Kids to Pay Attention. 15 years ago, a psychologist by the name of Barbara Rogoff and another one by the name of Marcela Correa Chavez ran a simple experiment. They wanted to see how well kids pay attention, even if they don't have to. They would bring two kids between the ages of 5 to 11 into a room and have them sit at two tables. Then they had research assistants teach one of the kids how to assemble a toy. The other kid was told to wait. Rogoff says they would tell the second child, you can sit over here, and in a few minutes you'll have a turn to make this origami jumping mouse, a different task altogether. Rogoff and Correa Chavez wanted to see what the waiting child did. Would she pay attention to the research assistant or did she goof off? They ran this experiment on about 80 kids with two different backgrounds. White middle-class children from California and Maya children from Guatemala, whom she had been studying for years. The difference was like night and day. Many of the American kids, now I want to go back to that. So the group of American kids that she ran the experiment on was white middle-class children. But when they talk about them, they call them these are all American children, right? I want to be clear. Many of the American children slouched in their chairs, stared at the floors, or looked around the room at the posters. One little boy started making explosive noises, pretending the toy on the table was a bomb. He was throwing his hands into the air and saying, "It's going to explode," Rogoff says. In contrast, the Maya children were more likely to pay attention. Some of them sat perfectly still in the chair, staring at the instructor. The Maya kids showed sustained attention about 2/3 of the time. Rogoff and colleagues concluded the middle-class American white kids did so exactly half as often. Why such different results? As we recently reported, Maya kids are encouraged very early to pay attention to what their family is doing so they can learn how to do chores and work collaboratively with their family. But Rogoff and other Maya researchers think there's more to the story. They think that these indigenous children have something that many American kids have lost. Now, hang in there, family, because here come the jewels. Oftentimes, we got to sift through the shit to get to the jewels. We got to go through dirt to get to the jewels. I want y'all to listen to this, please. What is attention? In the U.S., there's growing concern about the ability of children to pay attention. that on average the attention span of kids is declining. Listen. But what if it's not attention that's the problem, but something that triggers attention? Attention is a tricky beast. Unlike some brain processes, say vision or the ability to detect faces, there's not one key region in the brain that controls our ability to focus on one task and disregard distractions. Instead, it appears that hundreds of different parts of the brain have to communicate and interact with each other. When we pay attention, says neuroscientist Monica Rosenberg at Yale University. Here we come. And measuring how well a person's brain can execute this complex process has been thorny, said cognitive neuroscientists Mike Esterman and Joe D. Guttis at the Boston Attention and Learning Lab. For years, Esterman and De Guttis have been developing a standard test to measure how people can focus, or at least that's what they thought they were measuring. Listen. So we bring people in a lab, like college students, and give them these tests to do on the computer, which count how many times their attention lapse, Eastman says. For instance, a person is shown a series of images on the screen. Eastman tells the person to press a button every time a city pops up. So we show them a bunch of city images, he says, and you're kind of going along, pressing a button as city after city passes on the scene. Then all of a sudden there's a mountain scene, and the goal is to stop pressing. If your brain wanders, you'll make a mistake and accidentally press the button. Eastman asks, the more mistakes you make like this, the worse your ability is to pay attention, the researchers thought. Listen. But then, a few years ago, they decided to tweak the experiment. Right before it began, they told the college kids, if you do better on a task, it will end sooner. Eastman says, and you can get out of the lab sooner. In other words, Eastman gave the volunteers more motivation to pay attention. The results were shocking. The extra motivation increased the person's ability to sustain attention by more than 50%. Eastman says, we were kind of blown away by the size of these effects. So now what they're saying is, by giving the person, right, an out, by saying, hey, the more you pay attention, the quicker the experiment ends. By giving them an out, by giving them something, the attention span of these studies increased of these students being studied increased by 50%. All right, now let's look at what's going on. In other words, Eastman gave the volunteers more motivation to pay attention. The results were shocking. The extra motivation increased the person's ability to sustain attention by more than 50%, Eastman says. We were kind of blown away by the size of the fact. The researchers could even see changes in how the brain worked when people were motivated. The circuitry that controls attention was more active throughout the entire experiment when the participants were motivated to finish the test, the Guttis says. Whereas without the motivation, the circuitry tended to flash on and off. Now, what does the mind kids got to do with this? Let's get into it. For some people, the motivation can be just as important as their innate ability to pay attention, Eastman says. If we don't measure how motivated a person is while taking these tests, then we may not be measuring their true capacity to pay attention, he says. Now, let's look at the reason our kids' test scores may be low. Let's look at the reason why our kids may be acting up in class. Let's look at the reason why many of us may be getting a lot of calls. Listen, tell your friends. Tell your cousins, tell your brothers and sisters, they need to listen to this. If you don't want to hear Brother Hatim, go to NPR, look this up, listen to it. You ain't got to read this shit. You can listen to it because it's a podcast. I'm just reading because it's on mine and I don't want to mess up my shit by playing theirs, right? Because I can't play it. But I want y'all to get what's going on here, right? They doing study, and they're finding out that it's not the attention span that our children are losing. It's not the attention span that our children is losing. It's motivation. It's motivation. It's a reason why. Why am I taking this goddamn test? Why am I sitting in this goddamn class? Why am I listening to this teacher that don't give a fuck about me? Why? Everybody's getting a check in this process but me. Why? My whole family went to school and got high school diplomas. Some of them even went to college and they're not doing too good. So why am I here? Motivation answers that question. You know what I'm saying? It puts a purpose. When you put purpose in individuals' lives, it increases their capacity to learn. It increases their so-called attention span. We're measuring the wrong shit, family. I want y'all to think about that. We're measuring the wrong stuff. We're measuring the wrong thing, and then we're turning around and we're looking at ourselves and we're looking at our children and saying that we're not working hard enough. We're not focusing hard enough. No, our existence has been stripped of purpose. We're doing shit just to do shit. It doesn't excite us. It doesn't move us. It doesn't touch our spirit. It doesn't flame on our emotions. We're just doing shit. So according to the study, because we're doing shit, our attention span drops by 50%. Hold on. For some people, the motivation can be just as important as their innate ability to pay attention. If we don't measure how motivated a person is while taking these tests, then we may not be measuring their true capacity to pay attention. They're measuring the wrong thing on your children. You're measuring the wrong thing on your children. And DeGutters agrees. One of the things we realize is that it's hard to separate motivation from sustained attention. Once again, one of the things we've realized is that it's hard to separate motivation from sustained attention, he says. If we're not looking at motivation, then we're really missing the boat in terms of attention. What's the reason you tell your child they're in school? Well, what's the reason? What's the purpose? What's the why? Right? Of course. Hold on. Of course, she can go to the store by herself. Now that's one boom. So maybe the Maya children are more attentive to the origami toy experiment, not because they have better attention spans, but because they are more motivated to pay attention. Their parents have somehow motivated them to pay attention even without being told. Now, get ready. Here come the Jew. Get ready. To see this Maya parenting firsthand, I traveled down to a tiny Maya village in the Yucatan, Mexico, and visited the home of Maria Tunburgos. Researchers have been studying her family and this village for years. Now, I want y'all to understand, people is going to the village. They're going to villages. They're going to villages to go in and try to learn what is missing in our society. Because as we become more modern, right, and we start thinking that we're moving beyond certain things, we start losing certain principles that make it possible, that made it possible for us to make it out of villages. All right, hold on. All right. I got to find the spot where I was. All right, here we go. On a warm April afternoon, Toon Burgos is feeding her chickens in the backyard. Her 3 daughters are outside with her, but they doing basically whatever, they're doing basically whatever they want. The oldest daughter, Angela, age 12, is chasing a baby chick that's gotten out of the pen. The middle girl, Gye-Nyame, or however you say it, age 9, is running in and out of the yard with neighborhood kids. Most of the time, no one is really sure where she is. And the littlest daughter, Alexa, who is 4 years old, has just climbed up a tree. Alone, without mama, the little daredevil declares, "Right away, I realized what these kids have that many American kids miss out on. Listen, an enormous amount of freedom. The freedom to largely choose what they do, where they go, whom they do it with. That means they also have the freedom to control what they pay attention to. Even the little 4-year-old has the freedom to leave the house by herself," her mother says. "Of course she can go shopping," Turnberger says. "She can buy some eggs or tomatoes for us. She knows the way and how to stay out of traffic." Now, these kids aren't playing around in the yard. They're still getting work done. They go to school. They do several after-school activities and many chores. When I was with the family, the oldest girl did the dishes even though no one asked her to, and she helped take care of her little sisters. But the kids, to a great extent, set their schedules and agendas, says Susan Gaskin, a psychologist of Northern Illinois University who has studied kids in this village for decades. Rather than having the mom set the goals and then having to offer enticements and rewards to reach the goal, the children is setting the goal, Gaskin says. Then the parents support that goal however they can. The parent intentionally give their children this autonomy and freedom because they believe it's the best way to motivate kids, Gaskin says. The parents feel very strongly that every child knows best what they want, she says, and that goals can be achieved only when a child wants it. And so, they will do chores when they want to be helpful for their family. With this strategy, Maya children also learn how to manage their own attention, instead of always depending on adults to tell them what to pay attention to, says Barbara Rogoff, who is a professor at the University of California, Santa Cruz. It may be the case that some American children give up control of their attention when it's always managed by adults, she says. Turns out these Maya moms are onto something. In fact, they are master motivators. Although neuroscientists are just beginning to understand what's happening in the brain while we pay attention, psychologists already have a pretty good understanding of what's needed to motivate kids. Psychologist Edward Deci has been studying it for nearly 50 years at the University of Rochester. And what does he say is one of the most important ingredients for motivating kids? Autonomy, Deci says, to do something with this full sense of willingness and choice. Many studies have shown that when teachers foster autonomy, it stimulates motivation to learn and tackle challenges and pay attention. Motivation to learn, tackle challenges, and pay attention, Deci says. But in the last few decades, some parts of our culture have turned in the other direction, he says. They've started taking autonomy away from kids, especially in some schools. One of the things we've been doing in America's school system is making it more and more controlling rather than supportive, Deci says. And this lack of autonomy in school inhibits kids' ability to pay attention, he says. Oh, without question it does, Deci says. So all the high-stake tests are having negative consequences on the motivation, the attention, and the learning of our children. How many parents in the U.S. can't go full on Maya to motivate kids? It's often not practical or safe to give kids that much autonomy in many places. For instance, but there are things parents here can do, says cognitive psychologist Mike Esterman. For starters, he says, ask your kids this question. What would you do if you didn't have to do anything else? Then you start to see what actually motivates them and what they want to engage their cognitive resources in when no one tells them what they have to do, Esterman says. Then create space in their schedule for this activity, he says. For my daughter, I've been thinking that the activity will be like her passion, and it's the activity I should be fostering, he says. Because when a kid has passion, Eastman says, it's golden for the child. It's something that will bring them joy and hone their ability to pay attention. Your turn. What questions do you have about how to raise a human? We reported on kids and chores, grandma's role in evolution, and stay-at-home dads. What else do you want to know? What questions do you have for our correspondents? Submit your questions in the two below. We'll pick a few to answer on npr.org in the series. At the end of the series. Wow. I'm going to have to go in and find the rest of this story because I want to see grandma's role, grandparents' role in evolution. All right, so now I just read that. Hopefully y'all got the Jews off of that, right? It's not attention span, it's lack of motivation. So in order to get our children to do stuff, we have to figure out healthy ways of giving them autonomy. Y'all got it? We have to find ways to give our children more autonomy. I know a lot of y'all like, oh, our kids are already free enough. Obviously not. Shit. All right, so let's get to it. I'm about to say, why is this clock saying 11 o'clock? Oh. All right. I'm like, damn, if it was 11 o'clock, I really went into the zone, right? Really went into the zone. But I just wanted to share that with you. That's from NPR, My Children in Guatemala. All right? You just look up My Children in Guatemala for the news today, and it'll pop up. All right. So here we go. Day 32. Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. That's the Buddha. Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. That's Pablo Picasso. If someone say he will carry you, you do not say, I will walk. If someone say they will carry you, you do not say, I will walk. All right, somebody out there, 1, 2, or 3, which one y'all want me to start with? Unless somebody want to call in and we could discuss whichever one you want to discuss. I'm going to leave it up to y'all tonight. Where we go? 1, 2, or 3. Y'all want me to read them again? Somebody say read them again. Having autonomy within a safe and controlled space. After all, we will not want them to do anything too crazy that might get them into trouble. Now, but all right, and somebody put 3. But I want to stress this, right? Part of learning is getting in trouble. We just sterilize stuff so much, right? That it's like I keep going back. I keep going back, and I'm telling y'all, listen to me. One of the things that's missing from our kids is adventures, and we're not giving them room to fail. Part of learning is getting in trouble. Part of learning is failing. And we telling our kids, you supposed to come out the gate perfect. I be having parents like, my child in their whole educational career never got below a C. What grade your child in? First grade. They never got in trouble. What grade your child in? Second grade. My child's never had a problem in school. What grade? Kindergarten. So they're supposed to get all A's. They're supposed to come to school and they're supposed to shoot for excellence. Right? The trouble that I'm talking about is with the government. I could dig that, but I mean, that's just going to happen too. I mean, shit, if they black, they was born in trouble with the government. We ain't figured that shit out yet. I'm just saying. You was born black. You are in trouble with the government. You ain't going to avoid that shit. Might as well start learning about it when you're young. Right? We protect them as much as we can, but we need to provide those safe environments. For example, I'm posting up pictures slowly but surely of the camp. My young people were at camp, and they were able to explore. They were able to hike. We were able to go out in the woods. They were able to walk into certain distances by themselves. They were able to explore, climb, jump, roll, right? If we can't have them in the city, we need to take them somewhere where they can do some of those natural things, like the little kids that running in and out. You know what I'm saying? Safe environments. But what we do, even when we take our kids out in the woods, one of the major things that we always stressing is we got to create a system. We overprogram everything. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to just give the kids time to be goddamn kids and not robots. Because when you set up programs are for machines. We don't even understand the language that we're using. Programs are for machines. You program a computer. We are not computers. We are not computers. So we constantly want to program our kids. We never want to give them some freedom to decide. And I'm guilty of this shit too. I'm not just talking to y'all. I need y'all, you know what I'm saying? When I go through these things, I'm going through these things for you and for me. And I'm putting it out there so that y'all can remind me when y'all see me interacting with Cleve, or y'all see me interacting with Gina, y'all see me interacting with Sasha or some of our kids. We need to be able to remind each other and be like, yo, fam, remember we got to give them some space. Let them explore. You kind of over-program. You know what I'm saying? Because I be having people I have people call me when I'm doing programs, well, what's the agenda? It's going to flow how it flow. It's going to flow. And that make people feel uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, first off, it's a training for them and it's a training for me and the rest of the tribe. Because now, if Brother Hatim, if I could demonstrate that every time that I turn on this mic, every time that I get up in front of people, and you've been with me for all these hours, and you know what I do, and I'm able to jump off and say some new shit and do some and come up with something on the spot, how can you not? How can you not be creative if you hanging around somebody like me that's doing it? If you seeing me able to do it, you've been with me for the last 12 hours. You know that I ain't did nothing, or at least you think I didn't. And I'm able to jump off, I'm able to do what I do. How you gonna tell me you can't do something? You just sat with me and you watched me fast for 21 days. You saw me sit in the woods and see my back after I got ate up by the ants, because when I did Mind Blazer, I set up on an ant hill there and I didn't pay attention when I laid my thing down. Them motherfuckers ate me up. And you see me do that. Right? You see me hold my breath for extreme long periods of time. You see me totally out of shape, get up and just run. How you gonna tell yourself or report back to me that you can't make some shit happen when you see me making shit happen? How you gonna do that? Right? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me that you need a program? You know what I'm saying? I do understand that we need a lightweight agenda. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna have the class at this point in time. Well, what the class about? I haven't decided yet. I know when I walk in and fill the room what the class need to be about. It depends on who shows up. Depends on what energy is there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna eat at this time. Okay, cool. We can set that. Right? All right, well, maybe we need to work out right now. You up. Maybe we might need to do a game right now. You up. Maybe we might need to do Vedic math right now. You up. See, we are programmed. But y'all said number 3. If someone says he will carry you, you do not say, I will walk. Now, this one is about from my perspective. And I need y'all, like I said, realize that I'm coming from my perspective on these, because nobody called in. I ain't got nobody to bounce it off of. You know what I'm saying? And had a lively discussion like I had last week. Because when Lady J come on, she ain't pulling no punches, right? She gonna want to call me out. She gonna want to make sure that I'm on my shit, make sure that I'm correct, and that's what we supposed to do for each other, is it not? Is it not? Right? So I just refreshed the call-in line, 614-556-4535. Don't be shy. Come up on the line and hit this and hit this proverb with me. Let's get it. Let's do it like it needs to be done. Let's break it. Let's break it down all the way to the brokenness. I'm opening the lines again. All right, here we go.
First participant on the call. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
If someone says he will carry you, do not say I will walk. Oftentimes, a lot of us, we have not learned how to accept help. So it's not the fact that you just leaning on this person and allowing this person to carry you, right? But what they're saying is sometimes if somebody offers to help us, we need to allow them to help us, right? It's not saying when helpless. It's saying if somebody offers to carry you, you should not say, I will walk. You should let them carry you for a little while. Maybe you need the rest. I don't know. Sometimes we need help. And then when we receive the help, we might not receive the help from who we want. We might receive the help at a different time. You know what I'm saying? But what this is saying is that when we receive those offers of help, we must be willing to accept them. Not abuse nobody. Not overuse nobody. But when somebody offers the help, you need to make sure, because one of the proverbs in the African Tree of Life, it says, learn how to distinguish a gift from a bribe. When a person is trying to carry you, are they carrying you as a gift or are they carrying you as a bribe? See, a lot of times we don't understand the intentions of people when they offer stuff, so we just say no just so that we can kind of maintain a distance. Because when somebody does render us a service, out of honor, we have the responsibility to return the favor. Let me say that again. At least in our system, in Gye-Nyame, right? The trouble that I'm talking about is with Brother Shaka's will be on the line in a second. So what I'm talking about, any obvious statement, but why is it a challenge to accept assistance? Because in a sense, our pride, our ego, sometimes get in the way. Sometimes we might not innately not trust somebody or trust why they're offering to help us, right? And I think those are the occasions where we might need to fall back and not accept the help, because once again, we got to learn to distinguish between help, a gift, and a bribe. See, because a gift is, I give it to you, I don't expect anything back, but I'm obliged to give you something back. I don't have to because it's a gift. But in the cycle of Mayat, I am responsible for fulfilling my side of, if I receive, I must in some form or fashion return something, either to you or to pass on a favor, right? What a lot of us are into, and what a lot of us are into, we want to receive more than we give to the universe. So it's sort of like we want to participate in the universe without necessarily being able to, without putting skin in the game, which is a major problem. Sister Cynthia say, in light of what you just said, because we have our defenses up, because we've been bribed so many times. Many of us have been bribed, but a lot of us are being imaginatively bribed. Because sometimes some of the bribes that happen is not necessarily happening with the person that's offering you the favor. It's happening in your head with shit that you dealt with in the past. Let me say that again. Sometimes some of the shit that we perceive with our eyes and with our ears is not about that person. It's more about us. A lot of times we can't accept help from other people because we standing in our own damn way. And as a matter of fact, the way that works is usually those of us that standing in our own way, we usually end up accepting help from the wrong motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? If what I'm doing is righteous, right? If what I'm doing, if I'm doing it and I'm on my principles, I'm standing on my 7, right? I'm standing on my 7. Usually the help that's going to come to me is going to fit into the scale, because a lot of motherfuckers don't want to help you do the right thing. Now let me say that again, right? If you're doing the right thing and usually if somebody notices that you're doing the right thing, they offer to help you, right? More than, you know what I'm saying? That's, in most cases, that's sincere, because a lot of motherfuckers don't want to help you on some positive stuff. You understand? So a lot of times, like I said, and because I've been guilty of this, right? Is people that genuinely want to help you, but because of the shades that you're wearing from your past, you're painting a picture of what they're offering you that's based on your past. This is why I keep on talking about in the toast, right? This is why I keep on talking about in the toast this right here. I've been playing this over and over again.
Damn, Rob, come on! What's the matter with you? Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
A lot of us, either we're stuck in the past or we're fretting the future. And because we're doing that, we're blocking our blessings. We can't receive help from our friends. We can't receive help from our family. We can't receive help from our ancestors because we're worried about tomorrow. Well, I'm going to have to pay them back. I don't necessarily want to have to. I don't want to have to pay them back. I just want something for nothing. See, that mind state. Let me tell y'all right now, that mind state, getting something for nothing. We really need to stress this to our people, because we got a lot of these motherfucking leeches in our community, right? They want something for nothing, right? They want something for nothing, right? This is out of order. This is out of our culture. This is some shit that we picked up from West Asians, right? This is some capitalistic bullshit that you on. You can't get nothing from the universe for nothing. You understand? Everything has a price. So what we try to do, we try to be like our oppressors and find ways, or try to be slick and find ways to maneuver around universal law. I can maneuver around reciprocity. Reciprocity is sad. So this is why I'm saying, like, when somebody do something for you, even if you don't have to pay them back, in some form or fashion, you have to return that favor. Many of us, we only want to complete one part of the arc of the universe. We don't want to have to complete the other part of the arc, which throws everything out of balance, including our life. Somebody on, I don't know who piloted the Gye-Nyame journey today. Something to also consider is that signs such as pieces are, generally speaking, very generous with their time and efforts when it comes to people reaching out to us for assistance. At least that's from my observation. One more again. Something to also consider is that signs such as pieces are, generally speaking, very generous with their time and efforts when it comes to people reaching out to us for assistance. At least that's from my observation. Now, and what you have is, a lot of people, like, you know, that, especially those most of you that tune into the journey, you're individuals that do stuff and don't necessarily even ask. You know what I'm saying? You one of those that say, I'll carry you. You don't really expect nothing back. But what starts to happen is that when people start noticing that, the leech come out of them, the vampire comes out of them, and they want to start trying to. This is why in Gye-Nyame, one of the things that I'm trying to eliminate, I always try to find some way to give somebody some type of payment for what they do. If it ain't nothing but having an ear for them to listen to. If I could find some way to get you some funds, or I could find some way to try to pay you back. I'm not into the whole volunteer economy, because I believe that in order for us as a people to get out of the situation we in, we have to start doing microtransactions between each other, and always understand that when When one gives, the other must receive. And then the other must give, so the other ones must receive. A lot of people are trying to come to us, and they're trying to do one-sided transactions. Many of you have been, in a sense, abused and be burnt out because motherfuckers is microtransactioning you to death. They're withdrawing from the bank of blackness and not depositing anything back. They're black while they need your help. And they make a withdrawal. And like I said, family, we're moving into a time where we have to be able to establish the borders so we will know who to say, hey, I'll carry you. And not have to worry about it, because we already know that they're going to help us, or they're going to help somebody else in the movement. They're going to help somebody else in the family. We're coming to a time where we're going to have to draw those borders, family, because people are going to need money. Because listen, man, I was listening to an elder today, and he talked about his taxes, and he makes a nice amount of money. He was talking about his tax. He said this year alone, his taxes increased by $9,000. Many of y'all are enjoying the small tax things that the president has done, right? And y'all received a little boost in y'all check. But I want you to watch what happens when it's time for us to file next year. I want y'all to really start seeing what's happening, because there's going to be a big difference, I think, when we take time to really look at what's coming down with these tax changes and stuff, right? This tax overhaul. Let's see where the wealth goes, right? And people gonna be shocked, right? They're not gonna have as much money as they had before, and they're gonna be looking at those of us that's gonna be looking at them like, I'll carry you, I'll help you out. To now, it goes from 1 to 5 to 10 to Pookie wanting to sleep on your couch. To people wanting to eat up your Frosted Flakes because they no longer can afford it. They get in the welfare box, and they, used to be able to buy stamps or whatever, and they go to the grocery store for you, and they can't do it no more. They're getting boxes now. We think, and some of us think, you know what I'm saying? It's funny and it's not coming. They talking austerity. Look up the word austerity. They're talking that shit all over the world. And now we talking it here in America. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, the same person I'm assuming that's following Gye-Nyame journey says 2018 is pretty much already locked. It's 2019 and beyond that really concerns me. Family, it's about to go down. And you need to get your tribe. You need to get your tribe. And this is what this show is all about, family. Helping you identify your tribe, right? I'm trying to push the thumbs up. I like this comment here. There we go. I don't know. Did it go on? All right. So, I hope that helped y'all with that one. But then, like I said, these are my opinions, and I want you to get back with me and let me know whether you agree with the opinion or you don't, or you have some insight, because your insight might be what somebody out there needs. So whether you sit up there and you record a video and post it up on this, y'all know you could do that, right? You know you can record your voice and upload the MP3 file. You could do all this on Facebook. So you don't have to necessarily write these long ass diatribes. You can sit up there and speak it if you want. My only mission is to get out the word, create value, create a place where we could come and we could have these discussions, where we could fall out in a healthy and in a safe environment, and then get back to work. Get your ass up and get back to work, right? All right. So I need a number between 1 and 2, family. Come on now. Between 1 and 2. I'll wait. 1. Gye-Nyame Journey posted up 1. But hey, check this out, Gye-Nyame Journey. We got a new person, Miss Regina, who just joined. And Miss Regina, I need some ancestors to add to the list. So if you could post up, I'm gonna go with Miss Regina's. But if you got ancestors that you want toast, I ain't gonna say I need. If you want to toast them yourself in private, that's good. I respect that. But if you want to add them to the list, because we toast every day, you can add them to the list. You know what I'm saying? It's unusual for me to forget the list, but I forgot the list this morning, so I apologize to everybody for that. I was in a hurry. I was trying to get out. I was running late. And let me explain what's going on. So I'm taking the 21-day challenge again. I'm not fasting this time. What I'm trying to do is to work out a little bit every day. My goal is to do a mile. I call it a mile in a smile. To do like at least, try to run a mile and then come and do my yoking, or as they call it, that my little yoga moves. I call it the G salutation. Trying to do a certain number of them. On Emoja, I do 1. On Kuji Chagli, I do 2. On Ujima, I do 3, and then 3 sets and 4, and all the way up to the number 7, and then I start back over in the next week. So this whole week I've been able to get up and run in the morning. So I got up this morning, and for the since I got back from the trip, I haven't been feeling good to run. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't been able to do a quarter of a mile, because I'd be like, right? But this morning, I got up and I was able to do a mile. I'm like, wow. And I got it and I sat down, I did my stuff, and by the time it was over, it was like 5:15, 5:20. You know what I'm saying? I got to make it all the way to Park. Shouts out to Miss Jackson. I see you out there. I sent them and you read them this morning. I know I have to listen to my whole thing over again. So if you post them up right now, or better yet, if you will text them to me on the 300 number, I would greatly appreciate it. If you could text them to me on the 300 number. So when you are going to start the DE fast, the dichotomous earth fast, I'm thinking after this 21 day, or maybe in the last week of this 21 day, right? Because another holiday is coming up. I'm not missing another. I missed graduations. I missed all that. You know what I'm saying? Make it through this. Whatever people celebrate, I'm gonna get me some food, right, and kick it. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna do the DE fast. All right. So here we go. So Miss Regina says she want number 2. This is from Pablo Picasso. Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. Now that's, I'm an artist, right? Sometimes. I guess I'm an artist all the time. But when we get into our art, August has no really holidays, so that might be, you got a good point there, but we got quite a few, because Marcus Garvey was born up in there, but I hear you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I could do, it don't even have to be a full 21 days. You know what I'm saying? Because I could do like a 7-day something, and they don't even say that you have to give up the food. You could just add the dichotomous earth to your repertoire. But when I do that, I want to make sure I'm probably not drinking my ambrosia, because after I get done with the dichotomous herb, I will have to go back and recolonize my my microbiome. And I think I'm gonna get the dichotomous earth on my next check. So, but anybody that's involved with art, and all of us in some form or fashion, we're involved with art. Cooking is, art is when your kuumba flows. So it might flow in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? It might flow on the dance floor. It might flow when you at work coming up with ideas. It might flow when you up in front of people talking. It might flow when you listening to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So when we immerse ourselves in art, whether we are looking at it or studying it or actively engaged with it, it allows us to, like I said, in immersing, it allows, in that immersion, it washes us. It washes us of the madness in the world. That's why, like, for example, if you go into an art gallery or you see the right picture at the right time, something happens to you. You could become transfixed. Or if you listen to a certain song at a certain time, you could become transfixed and get locked in, because art has a way of shielding your soul and getting you caught up in the moment. Because in order to really enjoy art, you have to be able to release the frets of the past, the sadness from the past, the emotions from the past, and the frets of the future, and totally immerse yourself in that moment. Art pulls us into the moment. This is why I say artists are the vanguards of the revolution, because artists have a way of sparking us into the reality of the moment that we are in. That's what art should do. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times, what we allow the West Asian concept of art to do, it pulls us into the past. Art is supposed to lock you into the moment so that you could deal and look at the reality that you're dealing with right now. You understand? Yup. Comedic New Year's in August. Our art is Kuumba in motion. Let's put it that way. Art is Kuumba in motion. You know what I'm saying? Because, just Kuumba sitting there, not art. But art is when Kuumba is in motion. You know what I'm saying? And some of us, we get involved with the movement by watching other artists. And some of us some artists are so good that they could freeze a moment in their artwork. So when you see it or you hear it or you read it, you transfixed in that moment. And in that moment and in that Kuumba, right? In that Kuumba, it releases you. You know what I'm saying? It releases you from your past and from your future, and you are totally invested and immersed in that moment. And if you learn how to harness that and use that in different places, rather than just in that place where the art is, or in that, you know what I'm saying? Because that feeling, that energy, that vibration, that immersion is something that you could train yourself to be able to access at any time and unleash your creativity, unleash your Kuumba, so that you in the moment can make shit happen. And Miss Cynthia Johnson said, for me, creating art is a form of, it's a very deep form of meditation. You know what I'm saying? It's a very deep form of meditation. And to create art, you have if you think, you don't even think about it. Once you immerse yourself in it, you're not thinking about it. It's happening. You're there. You're there. You're not in your past. You're not in your pain, even though the pain may be what's driving you to immerse yourself in the moment. You're not worried about your future. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Even though the fears of the future may be what sparked the creativity, but once you get involved in the creativity and start letting it flow, shit, family, you know what that's a high form of alchemy. You're transforming bullshit into gold. You're transforming trauma into gold. You're transforming sadness into gold. Powerful. Miss Regina say, yes, and I feel this quote is a call to action for the daily practice and ritual of Kuumba in some fashion, a daily responsibility to shift paradigms created in societal rat race. Right? Rats don't create art. That's what they're trying to make us. That's what they're trying to turn us into. Rats don't create art. They ain't got time. Right? As human beings, we're supposed to have time to create art. Art is one of the things that separate us from everything else on this planet. No other being provides a slot for individuals within the culture to be able to create this thing that we call art. Yes, music, definitely. You know what I'm saying? How about cooking? Shit. Have you ever seen somebody that got in the zone cooking? They just get in the zone. I mean, it's like they, you know, especially, you know, and it's like all the measurements is right. They ain't got measuring cups and shit. They into it. They get into it and they get busy. And some of us try to imitate them and we end up fucking it up. But you got certain individuals that's their art. That's their creativity flows like you wouldn't even believe. All right, last one. Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. That's the Buddha. Work out your own salvation. Many of us are putting our salvation, we're putting our legacy, we're putting our ancestors, we're putting our future in others' hands. What Buddha is calling you to do is to take responsibility for your soul. Hold on. This quote is a call to action, and it's telling you, it's calling you to take control and responsibility for your own soul. Stop giving your soul away. Many of us, we just handing our soul, we're giving our soul to others. We're allowing others to handle our salvation. We're not doing the research. We're not doing the work. Like, for example, sister said we should, yes, and I feel this quote is a call to action for the daily practice and ritual of Kuumba in some fashion. She's talking about working out her own salvation. What do you think? I mean, where do you think a lot of these people going with all of this emotional baggage? This is that's energy. So even when you pass away, you still got to work that energy out. And if you're not as they say, working out your own salvation, you're depending on others. What's going to happen to your soul? Salvation from what or whom? Who said we need saved or rescued? She bringing up a whole nother point. Now, I mean, I ain't even got an answer for that one. I mean, I'm just gonna be, that deserves a lightning bolt. Sister Cynthia say salvation from what or whom? Who says we need saved or rescued? Because that goes back to the programming, don't it? Right? I mean, damn, you know, I mean, it's ingrained in us. We got to be out. We here for something. We must need to be saved. You know? I mean, that's how we've been educated, right? That's how we've been taught. But Sister Cynthia is bringing up a good point. Damn, I got to think about that shit now. Thanks a lot. Now I got to go on it. Damn, thought I escaped. Now I got to go back and deal with this damn. Oh, thanks a lot. Damn. All right, family, listen. I had a great time. I just wish some of y'all would call in. But hey, it's cool. But listen, we are approaching. It is a little bit after 10:30. I need to get up, do my run. I ain't gonna try. Do my shit. Not me, never been into that stuff. That's Anubis. I know that's Anubis now. How just throwing that out there. I mean, and what a throw. You know what I'm saying? I'm catching that shit. I'm like, wow. Hell, you know what I'm saying? Who says we need to be saved? Who said? And saved from what? Great question. Great question. You know, because some people get on here and they will try to proselytize to you, and you be like, well, damn, you know. One man's religion is another man's myth. And motherfuckers get mad when they used to get mad at me when I say shit like that. Be like, You know, I was just talking with somebody in Islam, you know, they told me what you talking about ain't real. Now you telling me what they telling me in Islam ain't real. So, what do I believe? I think this brother Nubis, when I was about 5, I was beaten almost to death for that denying that code. Hey, I waited till I was big enough to get away. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, you know, I respect your courage. You know what I'm saying? At 5, I was having fun. Well, you a Pisces too. I don't see why you couldn't have fun with that. Cause for me, I was like, damn, I could see the connections, because it's like, boom, I could see the connections, right? But then again, now Sister Cynthia done threw some shit on me, so I'm gonna sleep on that one. So, like I said, sometimes we gotta sleep on it, and sometimes we got to be wise enough to know when to say, I don't know. Now I got to think about it. So, family, I want to thank all of y'all for checking us out and joining us for Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know, we just finished Tribal Quotes, and usually I'm able to finish and be like I finished, but thanks to Sister Cynthia, I'm fucked up right now. Now I got some shit I got to just go and think about for another 5 years or some shit. Now, I hope you happy, Sister Cynthia. Damn. All right. And this is a Heart of a Summer production. But damn, my whole paradigm just been shattered. I can't blow up y'all paradigm tonight. Damn, I can't do the explosion. Thanks a lot, Sister Cynthia. I can't even do the damn explosion right now. Let me do the thunderclap at least. I always had fun, but never felt right when it came to the teaching. And I get you on that one. So I want to send shouts out to Sister Cynthia. I want to send shouts out to Sister Regina. I want to send shouts out to Brother Anubis. Who else? I really suppressed my feelings from that moment that I was able to speak into that vent. Yeah, I could feel it, man. Sharika Brantley, she waving. All right. So family, yo, we are out. Now, those of you that work and you want to listen to it, you know what I'm saying, and you don't want people really to know what's going on, you can also go to, if you are on the G&J list, you could go directly to Spreaker. Just click on it, and you can listen to it on Spreaker. Or you go to Gye-Nyame Journey site, and you can listen to it on a podcast, so that you could go and have your phone shut off and listen to the podcast. You ain't got to have people all up in your business or burning your whole battery. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't like I'm, you know, showing you pictures and shit. You know what I'm saying? So family, this is Brother Hatim, and I am out. Y'all have a great, marvelous, and powerful day. All right, well, evening. I will see you tomorrow morning for the toast. So Facebook, I am out. Spreaker, guess what? I'm out.